Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to 5 games I've played, part 26. Yes. In today's game I have some oldies, maybe some goldies, and a quite new game. I don't know, I didn't choose it. Let's start from the top. It's Axis and Allies, a very old game. I heard quite a lot about it and a friend of mine owns it and was very excited for us to play it. So I said, fine, let's play it. We'll meet up some other guys. And I thought it was very, very terrible. To compare it to Risk is very, very easy. My friend very much disagrees. We actually had a fight about it because I asked him why he doesn't think it's like Risk, and he just couldn't answer. Because I think it's very much like Risk. You just bound your troop into another territory, roll some dice, and see what happens. Of course, the difference being that you have a bunch of different forces that can move in different ways, have different strengths, and you have also water battles and water movements, therefore. But it's all just a complicated, shitty mess. Because it's difficult to calculate something. You can't see on the map where what is, and then all of a sudden some dude takes 3 tanks from way out in the boonies because they can move 2 to attack or something, and attacks with those alongside a bunch of troops, and you have your territory decimated, and it's just so tough back and forward, this battle here, and especially just building up to something, because I tried to build up to something. The only thing I could do as the United States was to build up to something. I couldn't attack anything right away. I had to move troops slowly, but I couldn't do that. As soon as I lined up some ships in them, the whatever, Atlantic or whatever, Japan fucking came and smashed them. I couldn't do anything to defend against it. I couldn't build up a strong enough army in time, and you just constantly going from I tried to build something, it smashed, I tried to build something, I was smashed, never being able to actually do something around the board. And then you have someone like Russia, where like we started off with the house rule where she got 30 points to purchase from. We just purchased a bunch of troops for her. If we had not done that, Russia would have been out of the game within 5 fucking rounds. Because that's how quickly Germany just pounced on them and almost completely destroys them. That is a shit mechanic. And the fact you have the house rule to make it good. So yeah, I mean, just play Risk. It's a stupid little game where you have a board and you have a bunch of things and you attack, and the board state is completely different from turn to turn and you just have to react. But at least it doesn't try and hide behind having different fucking troop movements to try and pretend to be a more advanced game. Oh, look at me, I have different ships and different troops, I am advanced. No, you are a shit version of Risk. Fucking hell, I hated that game. That was so terrible, and people talk about this in high fucking regard. What the fuck's wrong with you? So Many Clues is the next one. It's a 1 out of 10, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. So Many Clues, when that game I played, we tried it twice. Because they said maybe I cheated the first time. I disagreed, but okay. And basically you're trying to get, there's 20 cards, and they belong in groups of 4. And then you have 5 categories. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, yes, that makes sense, 5. Maybe I remember incorrectly. Maybe there's 5 cards in 4 categories, or 4 cards in fact. I don't remember, it doesn't matter. And trying to collect these into categories with the way that they belong. And it's obviously very difficult, right? That's because it's very quickly you see some things that hint towards maybe Tintin, but there's also something about country and a snack or something. And then you're like, oh, okay, but country, could that be Belgium? Is it hint towards something Belgium, or is it from French, or whatever? So it's kind of difficult. Very, very, extremely abstract. And the very annoying thing is my friend who was playing it on the other side against my team was like, no, that's wrong. And he just scored points because he said it's wrong, even before we had agreed on whether we found out whether or not it was true by reading the fucking result. And then once every time the freaking hourglass comes out, you can use the stick to check something. It's super abstracted what the categories are. You have nothing to go off of. If it was something where like my friends put out the clues and was like, here, these are hinting, these are the 20 cards here, the 4 categories, whatever. Try and predict it. Then we can think, okay, how would he think? Well, food, he knows that French fries actually originate in Belgium, so maybe the Belgian flag hints towards food because he knows that. And we can kind of put it together like that, trying to score a bunch of points and making a cooperative game like that. That would actually be fun. But in this one, I have to try and think, what has some board game designer or just an exec in a stupid company done? Well, I don't know. It's a terrible guessing game where you have no, like, there's no grounds to think it, because then this kind of clue hints towards a food, but then the next one time, this kind of clue hints towards a fucking country. There is no cohesion in that one. Whereas if it was a cooperative game where your friend put out the card and decided the categories, then there would be some connection there. And also, by the way, the red thing, this is where I cheated. I could see it. As soon as I learned what the lineup rules were, I could basically put two cards next to each other, and I could almost, with 100% guarantee, see it just by looking at them. And they said that was cheating because like we could only check or whatever. I just think that gives me an advantage because I have very good eyes. But whatever, 1 out of 10, I'm not fucking playing that shit again. Now let's get to some actually good games, because we played Coloretto. Yes. The first one in the line that also contains Sularetto and Aquaretto. Sularetto, of course, being my favorite game of all time. Aquaretto really closely following it, so much so that I don't involve both of them in my top 50 games of all time. And Coloretto is the original, and you can kind of feel it. Basically what it is it has the same mechanic as Sularetto, where there is trucks out, or cards, or whatever. You can put 3 things in, and here you've put in chameleons in different colors in. And then you try and collect those colors. And there's 6 colors in total, and 3 of your colors score points, 3 of them have minus points, if you have all the 6 colors, of course. And then you're just trying to collect them in there. And there's definitely, like, it has the DNA of it, right? You put out, draw a card, put it on a truck, or take a truck as soon as there's at least minimum of 1 card on there, with some cards that are bonus scores besides the regular just colors in the cards, and you're just trying to put them down here. Sularetto really evolves that, and Sularetto and Aquaretto are way better. I will give Coloretto a 7 out of 10. It's a good, funny, interesting game. If I see it cheaply, maybe I will even buy it. But I don't see a reason for it when Sularetto and Aquaretto are that much better. But 7 out of 10 still for Coloretto. Next up is Knar, or Knar, or whatever, K-N-A-R-R, a Viking game thing where you're building ships / exploring / whatever. It's symbol on symbol. It was introduced to me as being resembling of Splendor. I didn't get that feeling, because in Splendor, at least when you buy a card, now you have, you know, a red gem permanently. In this game, you don't really have that. Like, you have your little ship where you can have some helmets, and the helmets can help you achieve requirements on cards, even though you don't meet them, right? Like, a helmet is one requirement, so to speak. And the requirements are just card, like 2 purple and 2 yellow cards, 4 different cards, 3 alike cards, or whatever. And then you pay that cost. But when you get that ship, or explore that area, it gives you a one-time bonus, or points, which, well, points are kind of, that's the one-time bonus, is the points, I suppose. And then it doesn't give anything. Well, you can use some wristbands or whatever to activate some bonuses that are on the card. You can do that every turn, no matter what you do. Either play a card or take in one of the bigger cards up there by paying those cards you've played down. But it doesn't really evolve like Splendor. And if you say that comparison to Splendor, Knar definitely falters, because it's more interesting to be able to build this little grid and have, you know, I have 3 whites and 2 blues, so I'm ready to pounce on those if they show up, but I'm lacking in red. Sort of that thing, but that's not really what you're building up here. Because every time you pay some cards, you now have to start over. Well, now I have 3 reds, I can afford this one with 3 alike cards, and I have no cards, now I start over. I did see some of my opponents just building a lot on like the purple one, and hoping that purple cards show up, but every time you play it down, you activate some powers on the cards you already have played, and that was a nice little sort of engine that got built there. But it's an engine which you are going to dismantle very quickly. So it's still a 7 out of 10 for me, which I think is the same as Splendor, because I thought it was interesting. It was a brain, thinker. It's a thinker of a game and trying to put things together. And I went for the expensive cards right away, right? Slow build up, but quick exposure. And I got second by that tactic, constantly by going for the big payouts in terms of points. But I only got second. Maybe that was the wrong idea. Whatever. So it's a 7 out of 10. I would play it again if he brings it again, but it definitely has some lacks and stuff. But fun enough. Not compared to, if you like Splendor, you're not necessarily going to like this. And the last game is Bomb Busters. A lot of people say it's 2024's best game. It definitely comes in third for me, compared to Lord of the Rings, The Jewel from Middle-earth, and of course Spectacular, and then Bomb Busters. I can't remember what other games were good from last year. I think last year was not a great year, but whatever. This was a very fun cooperative game. You have these wires in front of you with numbers on them, and you have to try and guess. So like if I have a 5, I have to try and say, oh, this one of yours is also a 5. Hell yeah, we cut it. Oh no, oh, then we lose a point or whatever. And then wires have numbers 1 through 12. And it's very fun, very quick. Introduce some yellow wires, which works a little bit different. Red wires, which you just, if you choose that one, you're dead. Sorry. So it introduced these things, and of course other rules in terms of there's some wires you have to cut in certain orders, or it was on timed ones. It's very different in the challenges they have. There's like 66 challenges, is what it says on the box. It's a lot of challenges and a lot of the game. And I think all of them are very fun, a little bit involved, like bringing a little bit more intensity, but very, very fun. It was actually a really, really good game. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think the introductory missions take way too long and doesn't introduce enough. Like it's like, oh, now we introduce the yellow wires. Ooh, now we introduce the red wire. Ooh, those could have been one, right? That could have been one introduction of those. So it takes a while to take them again. It really takes you in the hand and walks very, very slowly. To make sure you understand, and that's fair enough. I just found it a little bit too boring. Like the first mission was just they were too alike. The difference that they brought in was nothing. So I asked, can we just jump to the final mission? And we did, and it didn't matter. We skipped like 4 or 5 missions, and it didn't matter. I was fully in on the game. So that is a little bit down for me. But I think other than that, it is very interesting, very fun. We played a 3, and that was a really great player count. Very interesting to see if we can get a 4 or 5 player game going, and what kind of level we are going to achieve at that. Because there's some changes to how the players work and stuff, so that would be sort of interesting. Because at 3 it was a very good player count, so I would have to try that. But right now it's an 8 out of 10. It seems like a really good game, and I can understand the love for it. So that is 5 games I've played. I think it is a long episode today. I think I talk a lot, but I also have some strong opinions in this episode, I think. So yeah, that's how it is sometimes, man. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!